The prettiest man alive is ASAP Rocky. Since being set free from Swedish prison in 2019, rap's principal design Deer has been on an excursion of self-disclosure, melodic trial and error, and close by a specific megawatt pop symbol Sweetheart Love. The sun never really set while ASAP Rocky was being held in a Swedish prison. Rocky was in pre-trial detention in July 2019 on an assault charge stemming from a street fight in Stockholm with a few young men who had been following and harassing him and his crew. The fight occurred. For a month, he expresses, restricted to a solitary individual cell for 23.5 hours daily. He had trouble falling asleep. In Stockholm, the sun shines for approximately 18 hours each day during high summer. For the remaining 6, dusk gives way to dawn. Rocky kept the television on at night as this eerie twilight filtered through the window of his cell. He fell asleep more easily with the background noise of Swedish-language news. However, a TV noise jolted Rocky awake about a week before he expected to leave. "I awoke from my sleep when I heard President Donald Trump and ASAP Rocky, even though it was in Swedish. I thought, oh, fuck." Rocky found out that the president had become the most vocal advocate for the Free Rocky cause through that method. According to reports in the media, Trump said in a tweet that he had discussed Rocky's incarceration with Kanye West and would call the Swedish Prime Minister about it. The following day, the president announced via Twitter that he would personally endorse Rocky's bail. Freeing Rocky appeared to be high on Trump's priority list, right up there with building the wall and complaining about CNN. ASAP Rocky suddenly found himself at the center of a diplomatic dispute on a global scale. He was a relentlessly charismatic artist whose favorite canvas is the mosh pit, a style icon who defied the norm, and a singularly charming man who could get a smile out of a gargoyle. Naturally, one had to wonder about the president's motivations for getting himself into trouble over the rapper in jail. Trump's opportunistic interest appeared to many Rocky fans to be a scheme to win over black voters. Trump tweeted at one point, "Sweden has let our African American community in the United States down." They were correct. An American diplomat who later testified about an exchange he heard between Trump and Gordon Sondland, the U.S. ambassador to the European Union at the time, stated that Sondland advised the president to wait until Rocky was given a sentence of imprisonment in Sweden before taking any action. Sondland allegedly advised Trump to let him get sentenced, play the racism card, and give him a ticker tape when he comes home. Ruff, in the interim, remained unaware of the in-the-background ruses. He was all by himself in a small cell at midsummer dusk, watching a TV he couldn't even understand. Despite his limitations, ASAP Rocky possesses an unstoppable amount of energy. He was on tour prior to his arrest, which is where he feels most alive. His shows are intended to crush individuals together, to make them dance and battle and lose themselves in blankness, and Ruff feeds off the frenzy, often plunging from the stage into the disarray he has made, hammer moving and swarm surfing with the children who make an appearance to rave with him. It's like trying to control an out-of-control nuclear reaction by locking him up in a cell. He has trouble staying still. He therefore engaged himself. He exercised. He fasted. And in keeping with tradition as one of the most influential fashion tastemakers in music, he created a collection specifically for the buzzy Parisian designer Marine Serre. Ruff had really loved Serre's reasonable regenerative streetwear for a couple of years, and on one occasion in his cell, he started to consider the blueprint for a joint effort. He was given a piece of paper and a pen, and he started to sketch an idea for a dress that looked like it had come from a dystopian future. Imagine stretching and elongating a vintage t-shirt before finishing it off with a kilt-like hem and a GD Master hood. He couldn't say whether the insightful Parisian originator would consent to work with OJ, Ruff's innovative organization that capabilities as a stage for his design projects. He sat in his cell, however, and sketched away because he had no other choice but time. If being imprisoned in a Swedish jail and suddenly being a part of Trump's agenda sounds like an unusual situation for someone to be in, Rocky wasn't completely out of the loop. He was 16 when he was sentenced to 2 weeks in Rikers Island for shooting a neighborhood bully in his hometown of Harlem. His professional life has also been filled with both happiness and sorrow. After releasing his breakthrough mixtape, Live, Rocky signed a $3 million deal with a major label in 2011 when he was 23. Love. ASAP. However, Calamity was just around